Okay, we're going to get into talking about something that I find very important for clinical practice, and that's the area of outcome. I need my laser here up. And the question of how to make it practical. How not to turn into a researcher. Oh, looks like that's not going to work. There we go. One loses, this is a hybridization of a statement. One loses control of the science and practice of, it used to be medicine, I substituted chiropractic, when someone else knows more about the impact of the doctor's work than the doctor does. When someone knows more about you than you do, you're in trouble. And I will tell you, these days, the carrier side is very, very sophisticated with regard to data acquisition. They can tell you your patient visit average, the number of services you run on a patient versus the number of services you're in your area. They can tell you how much you charge versus someone else. They know it down to the decimal point. And I think it's incumbent today for a doctor of chiropractic to know his numbers, know what the outcome of your care is. These, it's kind of hard to practice today blindly and say, well, I heard chiropractic was good for that, and I think it works for, it's been, for this particular condition, it's been known to work. In our practice, we're a whole lot more specific than that, and I'm going to share with you how we get there. See, if the doctor wants to remain in control of the profession, the doctors have to have the motivation to routinely track and evaluate outcomes. That was nothing new. Paul Elwood wrote that in the New England Journal of Medicine back in 1998, or 1988, excuse me. This was pre-Hillary Care. 5 years, now mind you, 5 years from now, predicts futurist Russell Coyle, the more sophisticated purchasers will be analyzing plan performance on the basis of functional and clinical outcomes. Medical economics, 1997. Here we are, 2014. We're there. That's happening right now. Many of you have seen those same reports. And whereas physicians previously had the central role of making medical decisions, now we're superseded by practices of managed care companies. I use outcome information as my first line of defense when someone calls me. I love the phone call I get like from a few years ago. I'll just give you an example of this. Got a call from the reviewer for American Chiropractic Network. And he says, Dr. McKechnie, I'm calling you about Mr. Smith. Not a HIPAA violation, he really wasn't Smith. And I said, yeah. Well, do you realize you have treated him 22 times this year? But, yeah. And just why did you do that? So I asked the natural question. I said, do you know Mr. Smith? Well, no. Well, I said, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is 6'5". He smokes 2 packs a day. He's had 3 lumbar surgeries. He won't work out. I've had him in rehab. And on top of that, he loves to crawl around in his attic and do yard work and chug bags of mulch and everything else. So every once in a while, he'll blow his back out. And he's done it 3 times this year. Then I said, and furthermore, why are you even bothering me? You know darn well, I said the median number of visits in my practice is 4.68, and my average is 6.31. Why are you having me on the phone? He goes, oh, I see you've been to our webpage. I said, I've never been to your webpage. Oh, let me get your numbers. He goes, have a nice day. And it was over. Because we track those numbers. We know what those numbers are by condition.